Framing is the way a shot is composed and how characters and objects are framed within the image. In our scene, The Dominoes Fall, there is a lot of close-ups. In close-up shots, it is the character's emotions which is in focus. This scene is very intense, and the use of close-ups contributes to an intense and dramatic scene. In the medium shot scenes, there's focused on more than the characters. In this scene, the medium shot is used as a way to show that the people is collectively rioting against the system. This scene is also an example of a medium shot. In the scene, we see Evie standing at the balcony with her hands pointing against the sky. In the background, we see a lighting, and it is heavily raining. This scene seems very dramatic, and Evie seems powerful when she stands in a heroic posture looking at the city.
When the Chancellor is shown on the screen, he's always above the other characters. There's used low angle when he's shown on the screen and high angle when the other characters are in the shot. It makes him appear bigger, more frightening and important compared to the other people in the scene. The other people appear smaller and more weak. To symbolize that he has the power and they are following orders.
This is an example of the use of high angle. In this scene, we see the little girl on the ground who has been shot by a man who is now pointing his gun at people. The overview of the scene makes the viewer more aware of the situation. The high angle contributes to the fact that the masks are starting to get power over people, and in this situation, the mask actually got a little girl killed.
In our scene, there is a great use of different shots, which makes the whole scene seem a bit confusing. The use of many shots makes the scene seem like a puzzle and all the pieces are collected.
When the location is at the screen, when the Chancellor is shown, there's used the low-key lighting. It adds up to the mysterious vibe throughout the entire movie. There's a scene with the Chancellor where he seems very controlling and powerful. It kind of seems like he has all of the power and is using it to control the country. It kind of seems like a reference to Hitler because of the colors of the flag in the background and the representation of power. The flag is red and black, which could symbolize both darkness and blood. The two colors are very dominating and could also symbolize power.
The music in the background is non-diegetic sound. It makes the scene appear more dramatic and rebellious. There's also used diegetic sound such as dialogue. The dialogue makes the audience understand what is about to happen.
It was strange. I suddenly had this feeling that everything was connected.
There is a whole lot of symbolism in our specific scene. First of all, there is the colors of the domino puzzle. V uses a black and red color scheme to symbolize the difference between the government, chancellor, fingerman, etc., and V, Evie, and the ordinary people. The red symbolizing passion, willpower, leadership, anger, and the black color symbolizing power, evil, death. The combination of the two colors can also convey a sense of power and oppression. The domino scene also symbolizes the power and the effect one person can have on a society. V creates a chain effect in the society as the dominoes symbolize in the scene. We see that there is one remaining domino standing. This could possibly symbolize that Evie is the last piece in the puzzle of V's entire plan.
Fire and water is another symbol in the scene. When V is standing in the fire and Evie is standing in the pouring rain, it's a symbol of rebirth. There is also symbolism of the baptism of the two main characters. We see the scene of Evie standing, being washed in the rain, and cut into the scene of V in the fire. These scenes symbolize a rebirth and show the importance of this moment to this character's spirit and being. And the scene of V is surrounded by fire, showing he is burnt and scared. He was made and created by fire, which symbolizes he has anger from his rebirth. This is the moment that creates V as a vengeful and violent human. This further shows that V is not entirely the perfect freedom fighter. He is full of angry fire and is out to get revenge. However, Evie's baptism is in the rain. She is being washed, perhaps symbolizing the washing away of her sins and cleansing her being. This symbolizes she is pure and true and is in the revolution for the right reasons. She welcomes the rain and her rebirth, whereas V is angry. The symbolism of Evie's baptism also shows that he's a good person, and that she isn't filled with anger as V is, but she is instead full of virgin morality. This is further enhanced by a real baptism showing that she is saintly and angelic and has good values. Furthermore, there is the rose that V leaves at every victim of his. This has a common explanation, which is that flowers signify the start of life, so putting flowers on a dead person would imply a hope that they would start a new life after death. In a vision of the chief detective, Eric Finch, we see Evie hiding under the bed, which is a sign of feeling trapped and struggling to escape, which is typical for a dystopian protagonist. Another element that plays throughout the whole scene is the riot against the current social and political system, conducted rebelliously by V, which is another typical element for a dystopian character. We also see that the main characters question the political system and the citizens are being controlled by fear and surveillance, which is very usual for a dystopian character or protagonist. V Vendetta is a political dystopia, because society is very controlled under the dictatorship of a fascist party, the Northfire Party. It is set in Great Britain after a nuclear war that left Europe in ruins. The war demolishes the crops and consequently there is a food shortage. There is a coup, which puts the fascist party into rule, and they implement a secret police force, the Finger, who controls the citizens through video recordings and audio surveillance. The government is oppressive and denies citizens their freedoms of reading books and expressing their thoughts and creativity. Furthermore, V, the protagonist, rebels against the government by committing acts of crime and terrorism. He blows up government building, hacks into the surveillance system, and murders high-ranking government officials in retaliation to the government's oppressions, which is very, very normal for a political dystopia. The protagonists usually represent values that are suppressed,